We are building consistency. We're building the belief in our brand. To have those young guys, the Powers and Zaros, the Phillipses, Marnies, even Taron Thomas, to be able to give those guys time in midfield and crucial roles is significantly important for us going forward. I've got great confidence in the way that our guys are learning and what they need to do in order to become a really good footy team.
Phillips with a banana! The youngsters are stepping up for the Roos. That's his first goal in AFL football. Arnie tried to force the issue, got it through Davies Uniac. The feet were dancing. He couldn't quite get through, but he got it out. Stevenson with his own moves. Cunnington, he gave it all he had. They have to touch it. Otherwise, North are in front. Davies Uniac shrugs Scrimshaw and cries it home.
What our guys are understanding is what our brand looks like, what we want to do with the game, how we can manage the game at different times to control the ball.
We're just really process-driven at the minute. We knew if we got our process right, then the results would come week by week. We're just going to keep building process by process, minute by minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening for the 2021 Syd Barker Club Champion Awards presented by Mazda, Spirit of Tasmania and Colonial Brewing Company. My name's Nigel Carmody. A pleasure to be your host for this evening. And as we know, the new way of the world, it's the best parts of 2020 and 2021. We are delivering tonight's event, of course, online, and we are excited to have you joining us from wherever you are located this evening. Of course, in the spirit of reconciliation, the North Melbourne Football Club acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. I'd like to start by welcoming a few special guests who are joining us tonight. We'll hear shortly from Chairman Ben Buckley and also CEO Ben Amafio, to our board members, so important behind the scenes, to Paul Dwyer, Dr Harry Unglick, Brady Scanlon, Dr Sonia Hood, Susanna Rostevsky, and also a dual winner of the Syd Barker in Anthony Stevens. I'd also like to welcome and acknowledge, of course, our 2021 AFL players and staff who've joined us tonight and who did an unbelievable job to keep the season up and running in the most challenging of circumstances. You can see a few of them tuning there in on screen. Of course, thank you to our valued major partner, Mazda. We're incredibly proud of this partnership, one that not only supports the AFL team, but also the successful AFLW side and is one of the most enduring in AFL history at north of 20 plus years. A warm welcome, of course, to our platinum partner, Spirit of Tasmania. Your support has been unwavering and we look forward to continuing our partnership throughout 2022. Also like to thank our 2021 club partners for their ongoing support. Welcome to the lifeblood of our great club tonight, the members and fans who stood by us throughout another challenging year. And also the continued support of the club has been phenomenal. We'd like to recognise our Chairman's Club, Match Committee, Shinboner Club, AFL player sponsors, and of course all our club members and fans for their ongoing support of the Roos. Cracking night ahead, lots of fun to be had. Let's kick it off by introducing a man who really needs no introduction. He is one of the greats of the club, two-time premiership player, and he's been incredibly loyal, supporting a lot of these events over the last couple of years. Warm welcome to the Syd Barker to David King.
Hey, Nigel, it should be a fantastic night. Looking forward to seeing where the winner comes from. It's going to be a close count, I think, given the year that we've had. A lot of younger players have been injected into the side. You can see the rebuild starting to take shape, particularly in the back half of the year. So I've got no idea who's going to win, but it should be a cracker.
Can you remember your first Syd Barker?
Syd Barker night. I didn't win one, but first Syd Barker night. Not really, no. It was a long time ago now.
I did look this up. 1994, it was at the Southern Cross, which has gone through a few different name changes. Now the Pullman on the Park. $70 a head. That's good value for money.
Steep back then, steep.
It's 130 now based on inflation.
Who won it? Do you know who won it?
I don't know who won 94, but...
Would have been Carey.
Your Syd Barker history?
No, I've never won one. Anthony Stevens was as close as I got, was 97 when he won. But Steve had come second a few times. I'll go as far as to say I think the club felt sorry for him and said, look, you just have it, mate. You've had a great year.
So much to look forward to tonight. Let's just talk season briefly. Early in the second quarter of round 9 against the Hawks in Launceston, the margin's 32 points and things are looking pretty dark. March and April were not fun times as a supporter of the footy club, but pretty much from that point in time, things went north.
Yeah, you say that. I think it depends what you're looking for. I mean, I was looking for a year of growth. You know, it takes a brave club to say we're going to rebuild, we're going back to ground zero, and let's just see what comes from there. So for me personally, I've watched Thomas and Powell and Davies Uniacke, these guys, Cam Zurhaar, Larkey really grow and blossom into that next level of player already. Great leadership at the top, and the captain Jack's led the way absolutely admirably, and that next wave of leader have done the hard yards. It's tough at this phase of AFL football. So if you're looking for 2 to 3 years' time, you really love what you saw this year.
I think that's a really valid point to touch on as well, is the fact that for all the young talent that came through this year, there was a spike in performance from some of the older players on the list as well.
Yeah, and I think they'll be recognised tonight. I mean, they'll be right up there in the vote count. Jack going to half-back, I think, was a masterstroke in the end to have that stability down back. And I don't know where he finishes, but I don't think he's won one. He was touching on it before. He hasn't won. I can't believe Jack hasn't won a Syd Barker award already. I'm going to take this up with the vote givers over the last few years. He's been robbed.
Well, it's a little bit reflective perhaps of the fact that, bit like you, Kingy, there's been some great players in the history of the club who haven't won this award, but it is such an honour. It is.
Look, we had Carey win it multiple times, Brett Harvey win it multiple times, Adam Simpson, Anthony Stevens, Wayne Swass. And as Swatter will tell you after a couple of drinks, he took the king down when he was in his prime in the mid-90s. So, no, we've had some great names win it, and someone will be added there again tonight.
As we touched on tonight, history will be made in the Syd Barker Medal, of course. The names that entered into the record books over the years is just a glittering honour roll of an illustrious group of men. It includes, of course, 3-time winners in Les Foote, Alan Aylett, David Dench, Matthew Larkin and Andrew Swallow. 2 4-time winners in the retrospective Brownlow medalist in Noel Teasdale and, of course, Wayne Carey. And your little mate, Boomer Harvey, of course, a 5-time winner. And, of course, last year's winner, Luke McDonald, coming off an outstanding season in that COVID-impacted 2020. Tonight, we will also, of course, relive all the highlights from across the 2021 season. We'll be joined in studio by a number of players, including Captain Jack Ziebell and some stars of the footy club. But let's officially open proceedings. To do so, let's welcome in Chairman Ben Buckley.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the North Melbourne Football Club Board, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone joining us here tonight for our virtual 2021 Syd Barker Medal. Once again, the current restrictions in Melbourne mean we celebrate this prestigious event online. My thoughts go out to those in lockdown and those struggling through the very tough times. As we look to crown our 2021 Syd Barker medalist, it serves as an opportune time to reflect on the season that was. The bottom place finish was not what we set out to achieve, and I know the coaching staff, led by David Noble, will leave no stone unturned in our quest to climb back to where we rightfully belong. We started the year off in a pretty shaky fashion, and to put it mildly. But from the breakthrough win over the Hawks, we started to see the picture the coaching group was trying to paint. Under Nobes and some new and old faces in the coaching ranks, in John Blakey, Heath Uni, Jordan Russell and Anthony Rocker, as well as Gavin Brown, Lee Adams and Boomer, an exciting new game plan began to emerge. It says a bit about the resolve of that coaching group, that we didn't deviate from what we wanted to achieve and how we wanted to play. We all shared in the excitement of seeing the first steps of 11 new Shinboners, some of whom will poll votes here tonight. To those players, I congratulate you all on joining a privileged group to wear the famous blue and white stripes of our great football club. To our leadership group, Jack Ziebell, Jai Simpkin, Luke McDonald, Robbie Tarrant, Ben Cunnington and Kane Turner. We were continually inspired by your determination to lead the group and get the best out of all of those around you. The first win of the season didn't come until round 9 at UTAS Stadium against Hawthorn. And it was evident the team had been building towards the win, and what a jubilant celebration it was. We then went on to challenge some of the best teams in the competition, and one of the toughest fought victories came in round 17 against West Coast Eagles at Optus Stadium. That game encapsulated how far the group has come and showed us what the future can hold. Although wins were few and far between, it was obvious the spirit among the staff and the players remained buoyant and energetic at all times. That spirit of optimism was transferred to all those who support the Kangaroos near and far. As a collective, we know there is a lot of hard work ahead of us. We're confident we are on the right track and we're all on the journey together. Our attention now turns to the upcoming trade and draft period, where we will do everything we can to improve our list for next season and beyond. We wish our list management team all the best, and I know we all look forward to meeting the newest additions to our playing list. We also say farewell to some familiar faces, to Taylor Gardner, Dom Tyson, Will Walker and Connor Menadue. We thank you all for your dedication and contribution to the club and wish you all the very best in your future endeavours. Off-field, the club celebrated a membership record with more than 48,000 Shinboners embarking on this exciting journey with us. We are forever grateful for all your support, particularly in another COVID-interrupted year where attending the football wasn't always an option. I speak on behalf of the playing group when I say we can't wait to have you back at the ground cheering us on in 2022. Our Arden Street headquarters are also set for another major boost, with a further $7 million expansion to go towards further improving the facilities, the club and the huddle. Our board and our executive team have also done a mountain of work to ensure our club is a key focus in the Arden Urban Renewal Project. We look forward to entrenching ourselves even further into our home in North Melbourne. I'd like to thank Ben Amafio and the management team, both for all the work on and off the field, for their hard work, their dedication, their passion and their commitment. And thanks also goes to our wonderful partner, Mazda, for their fantastic support for a record-breaking 22nd season. Your contribution to our club and the North Melbourne family is paramount in our ongoing success. Thanks also to our platinum partner, the Spirit of Tasmania. We're thrilled that the Spirit of Tasmania has recently announced their renewal for the 2022 AFL season. Without further ado, it's time to get the Syd Barker Medal underway. To the players, good luck, and to our loyal fans and corporate partners, thanks as always for your support, and please enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Ben, and well done to you and your board for their leadership through difficult circumstances in season 2021. Now, before we begin presenting our awards, let's take a moment to recognise the winner of our VFL Best and Fairest this season, Harry Jones, and also take a look back at what was an outstanding year. Here's the leaderboard on screen, and the highlight here is we see 4 of the top 5 are VFL listed players. Of course, Flynn Appleby was captain during the season. He finished in 3rd. Kate Answorth, another acquisition coming across from Sandringham in 4th. And Josh Clayton, of course, had a great season. He's been a superb VFL player for several seasons. Dad Scott making a big contribution to the football club as part of the list and recruiting team in 5th. But well done to Harry Jones, who is the winner of the VFL Best and Fairest, the John Law Medal under the coaching of Lee Adams this year. Let's look back at the highlights of the VFL side in season 2021. So well done again to Harry Jones, our John Law medalist as VFL Best and Fairest winner, and the VFL Roos under Lee Adams finished the year really strongly. They won 4 of their last 5 before, of course, the season wasn't completed as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. We've heard from our key leaders off-field. Let's now head on-field. Let's welcome in our captain, Jack Siebel.
Thanks, Nigel, and welcome everyone tonight, wherever you may be tuning in from. Well, 2021, what a year it was again. As an industry and as a club, we faced plenty of challenges, but I'm bloody proud of the way our group handled everything that was thrown our way. Just before I start, I wanted to get through a couple of thank yous, so bear with me for this moment. But we're very fortunate as players and part of the 22 that get to represent our club on the field each week. And with that, there comes a lot of work behind the scenes and a lot of people that help get us to that point to be able to prepare and to play each week. So on that note, I just wanted to pass, on behalf of all the players, on to the coaches, our assistants, development coaches, part-time coaches, and all of our analysts. Thank you very much for all the effort you put in throughout the season to help us prepare for footy and get us to points that we can win games of footy as well. To the sports science staff, you guys help us prepare throughout the summer months. Plenty of work goes into that. And on behalf of all the players, again, we'd like to thank you for all your work. Our medical team, you guys, it's probably underestimated, having to deal with AFL footballers and injuries week to week is bloody hard work. So thank you for all your help in getting us up to play each week and looking after the boys who unfortunately get injured. To the wider football department, our operations team, you guys have put together an outstanding program this year to help facilitate all of our programs across the North Melbourne Football Club. So thanks for all your work. We've got a number of volunteers at our football club. We're very grateful for all of their help. It's been a tough year with all the COVID restrictions allowing them to come in and out of the club. Special mentions to Lance Williams, Georgie, Janet and Greg Ryan. All your guys' contributions are very muchly appreciated from all the players, so thank you for all your work. To our CEO, Ben Amafio, Chairman Ben Buckley and the rest of our board for their unwavering support throughout the season. Thank you very much. The players really appreciate the support from the top all the way down to the bottom. To all of our major sponsors, as we touched on before, none of this could be possible without you guys. We look forward to continuing your support and partnerships throughout the next few years as well. A couple of special mentions to our coach, David Noble. Congratulations on your first year as coach, mate. You've done an incredible job setting up our club to help us prepare for our next tilt. Above all else, you've made an enormous effort to build relationships with each and every member of our team, of our club. And I think everyone is very grateful for that. I speak on behalf of all the players to thank you for all your efforts throughout the season, and we can't wait to get stuck back into work in November. To our GM, Brady Rawlings, thank you very much for everything you've done in the last 12 months to make our club better. You've had a bloody tough role over the last 2 years leading our football club, but you've done an absolutely amazing job. Lastly, just wanted to mention Carly Fox, who plays an absolutely pivotal role downstairs at our football club. You're our mum at the club. You do a mountain of work. Nothing is ever too hard or too much for you to undertake. I know you're highly respected and loved throughout the whole club, but especially by all the players. But we thank you for all you do. And speaking on behalf of all the players, we love you dearly and can't appreciate you any more than that. With this time of year, it's also a little bit sad having to say goodbye to numerous staff members who have been part of our football club for such a long period of time. So to all the departing staff members who are finishing up this year, we thank you very much for everything you've done over your journey at the club, and we wish you all the best for whatever's next in your chapters. A couple of special mentions on that. To Laura Kane, the woman of many roles and talents, congratulations on your new appointment at the AFL. Thank you for everything you've contributed in your journey at North. You'll be dearly missed. To Neil Connell, or Codger, what an unbelievable representative of our great club you've been, mate. You've been on the journey for 16 years with the players' well-being at the front of your mind the whole time. You could not find a player in your time at the club that wouldn't attest to you having their back in any situation. And I reckon you've probably got a few good stories of a few hairy situations throughout your time, mate, as well. So that's a credit to you. We, on behalf of all the players and everyone at the footy club, we wish you all the best in what's next, and we know you've had a profound impact on every player on our list. So congratulations on your career at the club, mate. It's been awesome. To Jono Siegel, you're a true Shinboner, mate. 21 years of loyal service. You are one of the most selfless, knowledgeable and invested staff members that we have ever seen at the footy club. From everyone at the club, we thank you. We wish you all the very best and whatever comes next in your career. And we wish you all the best in your beautiful family as well. Saying goodbye to our brothers is never easy, and unfortunately this time of year we have to do that too. So to the departing players in Will Walker, Dom Tyson, Connor Menadue and Taylor Garner, we thank you for all your efforts and everything you've put in at the club, and wish you all the best in whatever comes next. One last special mention is to my great mate Robbie Tarrant. You've been 14 years of unbelievable service at the club. You've left a lasting legacy as one of the North Melbourne Football Club's greatest ever defenders. A ruthless competitor who we all love running out with each week. You set the standard on the field, off the field, every time you stepped out. You gave everything for your teammates and for the club you love every time you pulled on the blue and white stripes. From everyone at North, we wish you all the best in the next chapter of your career, except when you play against the Kangas. But just know, mate, you'll be a Shinboner forever. So the 2021 season, as the boys alluded to before, the first half of the year, we learnt some very valuable lessons on what it takes to win AFL games of footy. We started to ingrain our new game plan, and we got to expose more of our young stars to the highest level with the likes of Tom Powell, Will Phillips, Charlie Lazaro, all making their senior debuts early in the year. We laid some important foundations for the second half of the year with the way we wanted to play, and finally, in round 9, as we spoke about before, we finally got our first win. Unfortunately, Nobes had to wait a little longer than first probably anticipated to celebrate that first win, but I think it's one we all won't be forgetting anytime soon. In the second half of the year, we started to grow as a team and started to consolidate our brand of footy. Our game plan became more instilled and instinctive. Our young core gained plenty of confidence and started to build serious consistency, led by the likes of Jai Simpkin, Taron Thomas, Cam Zerha, Nick Larkey and Luke Davies-Uniacke, and the list could go on as well there. We enjoyed some memorable wins, most notably over in the West against the Eagles, versus the Blues and the Gold Coast Suns as well. And off the back of all of that, we gained some serious momentum that we must carry on in 2022. Although our ladder position did not reflect our season the way we wanted it to, I think we're in a fantastic position leading into the 2022 season to start our climb back up the ladder. To all the players who are online tonight, I hope you watched the final series in envy like I did. Being a part of that is not too far away for our group. We just need to believe that as well. We need to attack this off-season and pre-season with the hunger and determination required to get our great club back to the pointy end of the season. We have absolutely everything we need, all the resources included. Now it's just time to get to work. Lastly, to our loyal members and supporters, it's been a long couple of years, no doubt, for all of our supporters, but we as a club and as a playing group have missed running out in front of the Blue and White Army absolutely every week. We can't wait to be back again next year to make you guys proud on field. It's a very exciting time to be a North Melbourne supporter, and we can't wait to share this journey with everyone. Good luck to everyone tonight, and I hope you have a great night on the couch and a couple of quiet beers. Cheers.
Thank you, Jack. I'm sure everyone's enjoying a couple of Colonials at home. Well done on your season as well. Good luck tonight in the Syd Barker Medal count. Moved inside the top 20 for games played all time at North this season. And there's plenty more to come from Captain Jack Ziebell. Now, of course, we've just spoken about what's unfolded in 2021. Time to look forward. Let's hear who the players think could be ready to take the next step in 2022.
Heads inside, and here is Charlie Comben.
Yeah, I'm hoping Charlie Comben can get a good run at it. You know, it was really good to see him get his first game and his first goal. He definitely brings something special and something different to the group.
He's got it! Nice moment to finish the game for Charlie Comben.
Probably Flynn Perez, so going in his third year. He's just got such an unbelievable work ethic. He's a competitor, and I can't wait to play a lot of footy with him.
I reckon 40. I reckon he got a taste of it this year, showed some really good signs. So with a big pre-season going into next year, I reckon he'll have a really solid season and one to look out for.
And he pulls the margin back to 10.
I'll back the first years in, so Tom Powell started the year really well. Can't wait to see him get back out there and hopefully I can be playing with him a lot more.
Young and Thomas, Powell for Stevenson.
I reckon Tommy Powell will be up there, but I would have to say Will Phil. He's just progressed this year and he can only take it up another level now, so yeah, the sky's the limit for him.
And now Phillips puts it out in front of Stevenson, the young gun, in just his second game of AFL footy.
He arrived this year, but I reckon he's got another couple of levels to his game. Will be Luke Davies-Uniacke.
his ability in the contest to win the ball and spread, and his power and his confidence levels are really rising. So yeah, he's got the ability to rip a game apart, and I think we're going to see that very consistently in 2022.
Davies Uniac, that was so clever.
Player to look out for next year is Aiden Core. Obviously we got him across from JBS, he's a great player. I'm really excited to see what he can do down back, and I think he's a real strong leader down there also, so I think people can grow around him and he's going to make us a better side for sure.
Time to have some fun now with a couple of current players, Luke Davies-Uniacke and Aaron Hall. Welcome, boys.
Thanks for having us, King.
Start with you, Luke. A fantastic season, a breakout year in many ways. It looked like you played with some confidence, particularly from the midpoint onwards.
Yeah, I see it as that a little bit as well, and I kind of wanted to set myself early in the year when it started with my pre-season. So I had a really big pre-season, got my PBs and my 2Ks, and just got to work with the coaches and my teammates as well.
A lot of trust from David Noble to give you the keys to the midfield to go in there and match it with the best in the competition?
Yeah, that helped a little bit, and Cunners has helped me with that, and getting some guidance from other players as well. So I'm just still learning my trade, and it's going to be an exciting year next year too. Yeah,
everyone's saying you've become the coach's pet, which is fantastic. Fantastic, Luke. Aaron, you had a great year. I mean, we saw the best of you in 2021.
Yeah, I felt I had probably one of my more consistent years. Obviously, moving to the half-back line sort of revitalised me and able to play to my strengths a little bit more. So, I think I had a reasonably consistent year.
You've seen a lot of young players over your journey across your AFL tenure. What have you seen from this group that you think can really drive in 2022 and beyond?
Yeah, you're right. I have seen a lot of talent, especially at the Gold Coast and the talent they possess. And I'm really bullish about our talent that we've got here. That's why I'm so excited to be a part of it. Luke's had a great year. Jai Simpkins gone to another level. Taron Thomas has gone to another level. And then you've got young guys in their first years like Tom Powell, Will Phillips, Charlie Lazar, Eddie Ford. These types of guys that will come through in the next few years. It's really exciting for the club.
And quickly, you've committed again to the Kangaroos going forward?
Yeah, mate, yeah. I'm ecstatic to stay on board. The deal got done relatively quick, which was nice. And, just looking forward to knuckling in and having a full pre-season, training off the half-back line and then being able to, help the team hopefully get some success next year.
No more money left in the cap now, that's it, we've maxed out?
Oh, I think John LD took most of it, so just whatever I can get.
Well, good luck through the course of the count tonight, guys. Hope it goes really well. It's time to give out our first award for the night. Let's go to the General Manager of Football, Brady Rawlings.
Thanks, Kingy, and thanks for being here tonight. Your support of our club's incredibly appreciated. The Best Young Player Award acknowledges those players who have been making their mark within the club and the AFL in the last 2 years. This award is voted by the North Melbourne Football Club coaching staff. The Best Young Player Award goes to a player who had a huge impact in his first season. Averaging 17 disposals, 4 marks, 4 tackles and 4 score involvements, this player was right in the mix for the Rising Star Award before he got an injury. So the winner for this year is Tom Powell. So Tom's joining us tonight via Zoom from Adelaide. So congratulations, Tom, on a terrific debut season and winning the best first-year player for the North Melbourne Football Club in 2021. I'm sure you'd like to say a few words, mate.
Thanks, Brady, and hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all having a good night. I'm really humbled and slightly surprised to get that award. I've got a lot of other great young players at North with me, alongside me, and Laz, Phil, Spice and Paddy Walker and 40. So I'm sure all of you deserve that award just as much as me. But yeah, I guess pleasantly surprised with how my year was and how I slotted into the team and was able to play my role really well. Having an injury was a bit unfortunate, but it's something that I've definitely learned a lot from and will make me a better player in the future.
Terrific, Pally. Well done again, mate, and looking forward to seeing what you can deliver for us in 2022 and beyond. I'd like to welcome Glenn Archer, who is joining us on Zoom tonight. Good evening to you, Arch, and thanks for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, while the Shinboner of the Year Award has been a feature of our club for many years, 2021 is the first year that we have named it after one of the toughest players to ever call themselves a Shinboner, in Glenn Archer.
Firstly, it's an absolute honour to have the Shinboner of the Year Award named after myself, so it's very, very humbling. So thank you very much to the club for doing that. And it gives me great pleasure to name the 2021 Glen Archer Shinboner of the Year award to one of my favourite players and a guy that absolutely epitomises everything that's great about being a Shinboner, and that's Jai Simpkin.
Congratulations, Shai.
Thank you very
On being
much.
the Glen Archer Shinboner of the Year award winner. There you go, mate. I'm sure you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, thank you. This award, it means a lot to me. Obviously, it's voted by the players, and that's one thing. At the end of the day, you want to be respected by. So to be voted by my players to be the Shinboner of the Year, it's awesome, and I'll keep this very close to my heart for the rest of my footy days. So thank you very much.
So well done to Jai Simpkin, the Shinboner of the Year. Thanks to both Glen Archer, whose name now adorns that award, as we know, and also to GM of Footy, Brady Rawlings. Let's go back to our club CEO, Ben Amafio, for our next collection of awards.
Thanks, Nige. It's now my pleasure to present the first of the next two awards. This award is the Mazda Excellence Award. In 2021, we again teamed up with Mazda to recognise the player that best illustrated the traits of class and elite performance. Voted on by the club's members and fans, this year's Mazda Excellence Award was a clear standout. Despite only playing 15 games and recording more best on grounds than any other player, he also registered 15 Brownlow medal votes. The winner of this year's Mazda Excellence Award is Ben Cunnington. Congratulations, Ben.
Thank you.
Well done, mate. Unbelievable season. You must be very proud.
I am a little bit proud. Obviously, I'd firstly like to thank the members and fans who vote for this award, and hopefully we can get them back into the games next year where they belong.
Well done, Ben. On to our next award, the Harold Henderson Best Clubman Award. This award is for the player who epitomises everything about unselfishness. He has a team-first attitude, goes beyond the call of duty all the time. Not just on the field, for the players that he plays with, but also every week and for the whole club. I'm pleased to announce the 2021 Harold Henderson Best Clubman Award goes to Kane Turner. Congratulations, mate.
Thanks very much, Ben. Obviously, extremely honoured to receive this award. Certainly wasn't expecting it, but yeah, it's just an honour and a privilege to sort of play with this group. Really happy to be a part of this team and a part of the future to where we're going. So, yeah, thank you very much, and good luck to all the other award winners for the rest of the night.
Thank you, Ben. Well done to both Kane Turner and Ben Cunnington on their respective awards. It's now time for the big one, the Syd Barker Medal for season 2021. After each match, the senior coach will vote 0 to 10 on each player, while the assistant coaches collectively will also vote 0 to 10 on each player, with the maximum score a player can earn in any one round equaling 20 votes. A countback system has also been introduced to separate players that finish second to 10th that are on the same number of votes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look back at the opening 5 rounds of North Melbourne's season.
Six new North Melbourne players were presented with their playing jumpers as football returned to Marvel Stadium for the first time in, well, too long. The Roos faithful were a welcome sight back at the footy as Kane Turner set the tone early.
Larky around the body and in the pocket, Powell.
It was a dream start for young gun Tom Powell, booting North's first major of 2021.
And kicks the first of his career.
And setting up teammates.
Powell puts the Jets on, kickable from the kid.
An 8-goal second term from Port proved the difference, but there were promising signs from an emerging North group. Taron Thomas and Bailey Scott booted 2 goals.
Rode the bump, gave it to Taylor. He feeds it back. Scott, great finisher, does finish.
And Euro, Jaden Stevenson racked up a career-high 33 touches on debut. Aidan Bonner excelled in a shutdown role, while the skipper Jack Ziebel's move to defence proved a huge success.
I thought his centre bounce work was really good. I think his capacity to play higher up the ground, have good entries and have some scoreboard pressure as well. He was a little bit unlucky, couldn't get on there, but yeah, we were really pleased.
To the votes, and Jaden Stevenson is off to a flyer with 13 votes. Bonner gets 12 for his stopping job in defence, with Ziebel, Mackay and Scott all impressing in the season opener. It was a tough day at the office in round 2 on the Gold Coast as the Suns led from start to finish. In a 59-point loss, there were few shining lights for the visitors.
Powell, he's bent it beautifully, Tom Powell. Great kick.
Jed Anderson could hold his head high with 27 touches and a career-high 14 tackles. Aidan Corr was a standout down back in his second game in the Royal Blue and White with 20 touches, 10 intercepts and 5 marks.
Jed Anderson's 14 tackle counts was, in our top 5 of our club, so great effort for him to come back, first up off a long rehab with the calf, so I thought he did a great job tonight.
Jed Anderson led all vote getters for round 2 with 9. Aidan Corr is next best with 5, while Ben Mackay gets 3. 27 disposals from Sean Atley earns him 2 votes, alongside Josh Walker and young guns Tom Powell and Charlie Lazaro. Round 3 was all about the kids as North hosted its 5th ever Good Friday game at Marvel Stadium. It was another debut day for North as Will Phillips became Shinboner number 1034. Unfortunately, on field, it was a day to forget. Charlie Lazaro providing a rare highlight.
Lazaro, where does he go? He's got Larkey open wide. Takes everyone on. Lazaro finished the job. Yes, he does.
Jack Ziebel gets 3 votes for his efforts in defence, while Jed Anderson and Ben Cunnington grabbed 2 apiece.
Crows will not bubble. A great chase down from Larkey. That's what they needed, the Kangaroos.
Up against the Crows at Marvel Stadium, Nick Larkey was keen to make his mark. Jaden Stevenson continued his strong start in the Royal Blue and White with 2 goals, but it was a brutal end to the game for stars Cam Zurhaar and Luke McDonald. Luke Davies-Uniacke was flying high.
So Goldstein to Ziebel. They're getting busy, these Kangaroos.
As a debutant brought the crowd to its feet.
And here is Phillips with a banana. The youngsters are stepping up for the Roos. That's his first goal in AFL football.
North's young guns combining with the future on show.
Well done by Mackay. They're going to go through the corridor here, the Kangaroos. Phillips has power. They've got runners everywhere. Stevenson in a bit of space. Just got to think his way through it. Has Scott running towards goal. Will it get there? Or it might bounce all the way through. They've got another one, the Roos.
The Crows getting the result in the end, but with plenty of promising signs from David Noble's team.
That's pretty special, that goal. Had the calmness just to put a little boomerang straight through. So, as you said, the boys are playing some good footy and, we just need to keep it going.
A 33 disposal haul from Aaron Hall gets him 9 votes, with Ben Mackay polling 8. In a much improved display, Jack Ziebel, Jai Simpkin, Tom Powell and Aidan Bonner were all among the top vote getters. At 2, Bosina Vilagi became North's 8th debutant of the season at GMHBA Stadium in round 5. Geelong hasn't been a happy hunting ground for North in recent years, but the visitors started with a bang. Aaron Hall landed a long bomb and the Roos took it right up to Geelong early.
Stevenson back to the wing at full stretch. Phillips, he doesn't want to stop. It's a race back to goal. Larkey, he's gone, he's committed. And he found a way.
But a late hit ended Hall's day soon after and the Cats pounced. Cunnington was standing tall, while Ben Mackay claimed another scalp in defence. this time Tom Hawkins. Aidan Bonner also played a key role, taking it to Patrick Dangerfield. Jaden Stevenson booted 2 goals in another improved display from North.
He thinks he's within range, and he was.
I think there was a 4-quarter effort for the first time this year. The last few weeks we put in 1 or 2. Last week against Adelaide, 3 quarters, and I think the boys, fought it out really well to the end today.
To the votes, and Ben Cunnington put up arguably the best performance of the year so far with 29 disposals, 7 clearances and a goal. Another super performance from Ben Mackay with 11 votes, while Zeeble, Bonner, Turner and Simpkin are next in line.
So 5 rounds into the 2021 season, already some exciting signs of the future for this young group. Let's have a look at how the leaderboard stands after 5 rounds in the 2021 Syd Barker Medal count. And look at that, 5 out of the top 6 players in the count in the opening 5 rounds are under the age of 23. And it's easy to forget that Ben Mackay is barely 30 games into his AFL career and is already shutting down some of the best forwards in the AFL, as we saw that great performance on Tom Hawkins back there in round 5. Mick Martin won this award as a 23-year-old defender some 30 years ago. Jack Zeeble, of course, found a new lease on life in defence this year. He's polling well so far, and Aidan Bonner also showing what he can do with a clear run at things as well. Jaden Stevenson and Jai Simpkin round out the top 5 alongside first-yearer Tom Powell, who of course was able to kick a goal with his first kick in the blue and white stripes back in round 1 against Port Adelaide. We're now going to take a moment to recognise the 50 and 100 game milestones achieved by several players across the course of the season. To Trent Dumont, Kane Turner and Aidan Corr, well done on reaching the 100 AFL game milestone. Of course, Aidan Corr crossing from the GWS Giants, and then 50 games for Tom Campbell. Some of those, of course, played with the Western Bulldogs. Luke Davies-Uniacke, who we heard from a little bit earlier on, and also Nick Larkey and Cam Zurhaar. And with that, let's throw out to Kingy, who's catching up with Cam Zurhaar and Nick Larkey.
Thanks, Nigel. I'm out here with a couple of the stars of the forward line where they sell memberships as the big ticket items down there. Hey, boys, congratulations, Nick Larkey, 50 games. Thanks, Cam Zurhaar, 50 as well. It's been a different year for you. I mean, it's become your forward line as the key pillar down there with Benny Brown obviously moving on. How have you found it?
Yeah, no, I think we've all enjoyed it. It was a different dynamic down there this year, and we both enjoyed taking a bit more leadership positions on board, but I think everyone's sort of grown with us in the position. It wasn't just us two. Steve-O did a great job. Curdy leads well down there. Taryn. There's a lot of young players down there, so it's exciting. Hopefully we can galvanise and play together for a while.
How'd you find it, Cam? You're the barometer of the team down there. We love when you're throwing yourself around.
No, it's Nick leads the forward line now, so it's I just go underneath his wing, mate, and no, it's good. It's a different field down there, and it's definitely the way of the future. 30
plus goals for the year. You must be happy personally with what you were able to achieve.
Yeah, it was nice. I had a rough start to the year, but managed to get in a bit of form in the second half of the year. So it was good.
Where can we go? What's the timeline, do you think? 2022 and beyond. How quickly can we take those significant steps?
I think it can happen next year. I reckon if you look at. Nose was really good at sort of breaking the year down into where our form, really hit its strides. And that back end of the year, although it was a disappointing end of that last game, we were sort of, around the similar form line of a 8th, sort of 9th side. So we can build on that. That's where we are, but we will build on that pre-season. I think it can turn around next year as quickly as that.
Got to hurry up and get these guys to 100 games. It's very exciting times. I know Nob's excited, but not as excited as I am about you two taking control.
Another road trip, this time to Perth, and it was Will Phillips who got the ball rolling.
Taylor going short, was at the 15, not for Phillips. Still got time to steady though. Composure from the young man.
Stevenson was on song early too, but it was a dominant performance from Fremantle from there on.
And there, Logue lost it. Stevenson loves to snap a goal, and he does just that.
I thought Taron Thomas, in the midfield was really, I like some of his efforts in there, some of his speed in that sense. I think Steve-O, Jaden's been hit the scoreboard again. I thought Jack Marnie probably had his best game for us for this year in that sense. And I think Tom Powell, shows some real class around the balls.
the stoppages when he's able to get his hands on the ball.
Zeeble leads the way again with 10 votes, with Taryn Thomas stepping up with 6. Stevenson, Cunnington and Powell all grab 5 votes, while Jack Marnie gets 3 for his 21 disposals.
Back to Zerha. Hasn't kicked a goal so far this year. He delivers that pass beautifully. And Powell will have the shot for goal. Probably been the most impressive of their picks from last year so far. It's early days, but there's a prime example.
It was first versus last, but North was up for the fight against Melbourne in Tasmania. An injury to Aidan Bonner put a dampener on proceedings, but the Roos were on song.
Quick turn of the body from Simpkin under serious fire. The kick to half-forward Lazaro, he's gone. And North to Stevenson, you can see the path to plot. And in the goal square, that's how to get your first goal for the season.
Cunnington was all class as North went in with a surprise lead at the main break.
Marnie. And here's the opportunity. Larkey, Stevenson, it wasn't perfect. Larkey thought about using the left foot, but why not go to the right and kick another? They are flowing.
The D's fought back hard, but again, North's process was there for all to see.
Continuation for us to keep building our game and improving our game, I think, is good. And one of those parts has been Hawley. Hawley being able to give us that run off half back. We had a bit of a think around mid. We looked at forward, but we felt that with his use of the ball and his capacity to run and carry, it's really helped reshape that back end for us.
35 disposals, 8 clearances, 9 score involvements and 2 goals for Ben Cunnington sees him grab another 13 votes. How good was Aaron Hall this year? The hard-running defender starting to move up the leaderboard with 9 votes. Jai Simpkin, ultra consistent with another 7 votes, while the ever-reliable Kane Turner also got 7. It was another encouraging display as North took on Collingwood in round 8.
Gives it a good handball to Cunnington. Still had time on his side. Zerha should be able to run and jump at the ball, and Thomas ripped it off the pack and put it through.
The Roos fought back hard in the third term, reducing the margin to just 6 points.
And there's no problems there. He steps straight up.
But they'd have to wait at least another week for a win, with Ben Mackay's efforts in defence and Jack Marnie and Cam Zerha's impact at the other end of the ground not enough for the 4 points.
I think we're developing some really key acumen to be able to score quick. The third quarter was a great indicator of that. We came out and got ourselves straight into the game, some good centre clearances, not only from Cunnington but from Taryn. I think what we're building is the belief in our brand to be able to continue to navigate our way back to that when pressure comes.
So Ben Mackay again with the top votes in round 8, polling 9. Aaron Hall continues his run of form with 8, while Jaden Stevenson stood tall against his old team. Jack Zeeble, Josh Walker, Taryn Thomas and Connor Menadue all among the votes against the Pies. We know this is the one you've been waiting for. Fly in, fly out was the order of the day as North headed to Utah's stadium to take on the Hawks. The speed and polish of Taryn Thomas was on show early.
Thomas instead, down the spine he runs, the Tasmanian, couple of bounces and blasted, goal square, Goldie in the goal square and kicks the goal.
But in the blink of an eye, Hawthorn led by 32 points. Taylor Gardner made a welcome return, and with Aaron Hall running right in defence.
Hall has been in spectacular form as a defender, coming off 37 possession game last week.
And LDU making his mark, North fought back.
Davies Uniac shrugs Scrimshaw and drives it home.
The Bulls stepped it up too as the Roos took control.
Avoid nearly pumped. God, he's got it anyway. And gave it up to Zerha. Magic moment for North. It's a 1-point game.
In a seesawing battle, the home state hero had the last laugh.
Taryn Thomas had to be the Tasmanian at home. Could be the hero.
A dominant midfield display with a +20 clearance differential telling the story as the likes of Cunnington, Simpkin and Big Todd Goldstein ran right. North saluting in style.
The footy gods have done it again. David Noble, on his 54th birthday, a Tasmanian back in his old home state, and the drought is broken.
It's all about finding that spirit, and for the first couple of rounds, it wasn't there, and you just find a bit each week. And today, the stars aligned, like I said, and just an awesome result.
So the votes from our first win of the year, and you can see Simpkin and Cunnington lead the way after 38 and 37 disposals respectively. Aaron Hall with another big game, racking up 28 touches and 605 metres gained. Next in line is Todd Goldstein, who had 19 possessions, 28 hit-outs and a goal, and LDU with 24 disposals and 11 clearances. In a big voting game, Thomas, Garner and Zerha were also among the best. After such a strong display in round 9, the clash against Essendon was disappointing to say the least. Outside of a 5-goal third term, North was never really in the match. Cam Zerha did his best to lift his side, while Kane Turner did a terrific job on Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti. But it simply wasn't the Roos' day.
Zerha again. He's found his marking touch right now.
Taron Thomas, 21 touches and 2 goals, and Taylor Gardner's 3 goals provided reason to smile, but the highlights were few and far between. Thomas gets 6 votes in a strong display through the midfield, while Garner gets 4. Kane Turner and Aaron Hall with 3 votes apiece on a tough day for North. Back in the side against St Kilda in round 11, Bailey Scott played a vital shutdown role on Brad Hill, restricting him to just 6 disposals.
Ball's way. Cunnington stretching it out for Zeeble on the full line for his second goal of the afternoon.
The Blues found themselves 43 points down at the final change, but fought back in the final term. Taron Thomas did his best to lift his team with 2 late goals, while Ben Mackay did an outstanding job in defence on Max King. North falling by 20 points in the end, but in a much improved display. To the votes for round 11, and Bailey Scott gets 9 for his outstanding tagging role. Ben Mackay grabs 7 votes, while Zeeble and Thomas get 5 apiece. Aaron Hall and Cam Zerha around the mark with 4 and 3 respectively.
So the halfway mark of the 2021 Syd Barker Medal count, and it is very tight at the top, and we have a new leader. Jack Zeeble, chasing his first Syd Barker Medal, has shot to 59 votes. His round 6 game against Fremantle was Jack's highest ever rating match on Champion Data's figures. Ben Cunnington and Ben Mackay are in equal second spot, with Aaron Hall, Jai Simpkin and Taron Thomas all not far behind. Of course, still half the season to come, so it could be anyone's from here. Jack Zeeble in front at the halfway mark in the 2021 Syd Barker Medal. Gives me great pleasure now to introduce Brady Scanlon, who is joining us on Zoom to present the next award, honouring his father, Peter Scanlon. Brady, over to you to present the 2021 Peter Scanlon Community Award.
Thank you, Nigel. Our next award exemplifies the spirit of giving and going the extra mile. This year's beneficiary has made a significant contribution to our community without any expectation of recognition or fanfare. As Secretariat of the Huddle, a voluntary role which is held for several years, this award winner has gone above and beyond. His business acumen has helped the Huddle to maintain a strong financial position despite the economic impacts and uncertainty around COVID. This has allowed the Huddle to expand its services during the period at a time when our community needed it most. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the Peter Scanlon Community Award for 2021 is Chris Simmons. Congratulations, Chris.
Chris, congratulations. Wonderful recognition of not just your efforts in the last 12 months, but your entire contribution in your time at Arden Street.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'm a little bit surprised and really honoured to receive this award, and thank you so much for that. I've been, I've loved watching the journey of the Huddle over the last 11 or so years, and watched it grow from, inception when there was a couple of staff right through to now where, there's 25 permanent staff in the Huddle, plus, so many volunteers, and it's just been a really thrilling journey, and I'm honoured to sort of play a small part in that. Obviously, Huddle's got brilliant support through the Scanlon Foundation and PMF Foundation and state government as well. And I think probably would be remiss to not mention the leadership of Cam McLeod as well, who does an amazing job driving the Huddle and everything that it does. So, yeah, look, thank you very much.
Chris, outside of Cam, who you just mentioned there, is there anyone else you'd like to thank?
Oh, look, Anthea Hancock's, who's part of the Scanlon Foundation, has been an enormous contributor as well. Sonia Hood, who I guess has driven the Huddle through the growth phase and handed it over in an amazing position to Cam. I think those two people particularly should be thanked for what they've contributed.
Well, Chris, congratulations. You've made an extraordinary contribution, not just to the Huddle, but the entire football club. Well done on winning this year's Peter Scanlon Community Award.
Thanks, Nigel.
Thanks to Chris Simmons, and also thanks to Brady Scanlon there, presenting the award on behalf of his father, of course, the Peter Scanlon Community Award. Fantastic recognition of what the club does off the field in the community, such an important thing to be contributing to. So the vote count in the Syd Barker Medal is heating up. Let's go back to take a look at the highlights from rounds 13 through 17.
With Robbie Tarrant a welcome return, North bounced out of the blocks against the Giants in Hobart. The Roos youngsters were stepping it up again as Cam Zurhaar's rich vein of form continued.
And that is brilliant from there. And they're back in front by a goal.
Lockie Young flew high.
Floats it wide. Huge leap from Young.
And Taron Thomas produced a little bit of brilliance as an upset loomed.
Oh, he slipped. The dot step didn't work. Barney, Thomas, Davies Uniac drives it long. This would hurt. This would be huge. And he got the spin, the roll, and the crazy beauty of that.
But in a nail-biting finish, North was forced to settle for a draw. The efforts of Cunnington with 25 touches and 9 clearances, Simpkin with 31 and 7 clearances, and Marnie, who excelled in the forward half, just not quite enough at Bloodstone Arena.
We did so many things right the first 3 quarters and were really on top. And it's just that next learning process of this group is just we need to learn to get that kill and when you're on top to keep them down.
So Cam Zurhaar again among the top votes with 11, while Ben Cunnington gets 10. Jack Marnie continues an impressive year with 8, while Goldstein, Thomas, Simpkin and Larkey were all among the best. Kane Turner getting 6 votes for his vital role on Toby Green. While nothing will compare to the 2020 season, 2021 became the story of fly-in, fly-out trips for Victorian teams. For the second week in a row, North played at Bloodstone Arena, this time against the Lions. It was Stevenson who kick-started things for North, while Jai Simpkin was brilliant through the middle on his way to 9 clearances. Zurhaar and Larkey were an ever-present threat, bringing 5 goals between them as the Roos pressed one of the premiership favourites every step of the way. North battled bravely but fell short by 23 points. Jack Ziebell racked up 32 touches and a massive 770 metres gained, while Josh Walker played a vital role in defence. Todd Goldstein had 53 hitouts in an impressive ruck display. It's the skipper Jack Ziebell with top votes for round 14, polling 9. We know Nick Larkey finished the season strongly as he grabs another 8 votes. Simpkin, Walker and Goldstein next in line with 6 votes apiece.
They're a really good team, and so were GWS last week, and to put ourselves in those winning positions. So if we can keep doing that for the rest, the 7 or 8 weeks, we have the guys like Davies Uniac, Taron Thomas. They're really stepping up, I think. Since the bye, they've been playing some really good footy. So, it's really exciting.
Back at Bloodstone Arena, the Roos were out for redemption, having been smashed by Gold Coast in round 2. LDU got North off to the perfect start with a long bomb before the Roos young guns combined for a beauty.
And he sets that up nicely. The Tassie Tarrant, he hands it off to Simpkin. He's got room to move. He can blast it long, go goal square, all the way home. A ripper for North.
The Bull continued his hot run of form.
He sends it on its way. You bet he has. He's got 56 and a half.
And a double cobra.
As did his partner in crime, Nick Larkey, as North had a seesawing battle with the Suns.
Larkey put down Anderson behind play. Here's a chance he might get on the end of it. This will be 3 in a row for Nick Larkey. He does the unselfish thing. He gives it off to Marnie, and they've got a significant surge on now, the Roos.
Down by 8 points at the main break, the Roos turned it on in the third before Zerha put the game beyond doubt.
Struck it pretty well. He's bending that back. He's pulled one from the top shelf. Cam Zerha.
Relief and belief. The Roos hold their nerve and they celebrate their second win of the year.
Big man Todd Goldstein was dominant with 44 hitouts and 21 disposals for 14 votes. Larkey and Zerha again combined for 5 goals between them, while it was a strong midfield display from Davies Uniacke, Simpkin and Cunnington. Ben Mackay, an outstanding job on Ben King. Skipper Jack Siebel was influential once again.
We've got a lot of faith in our guys that are playing the game the way that we want them to play. They're growing before our eyes, and I think as a group and as a club, I'd like to dedicate this win to our members. Our members have been unbelievably supportive and encouraging of where we're going.
With the round 3 demolition still fresh in the minds, North was eager to bounce back against the Bulldogs.
Sherry was there as the tallest target, flicked out by Zerha to Scott. Big opportunity for the Kangaroos, which he takes.
But despite outstanding performances from Ben Cunnington with 26 disposals and 2 goals, and Jai Simpkin through the middle, the Roos ultimately found themselves 39 points down at the final break. The fourth quarter provided plenty of reason for optimism though, North finishing with 12 scoring shots and taking it right up to the ladder leaders.
Incoming ball for Hall. Played it well, played it quickly to Davies Uniacke and then to Marnie. Direct path this time. And from the side, he's got it again, Zerha. A one-hander this time. And he's got himself 4.
A look at the votes, and Ben Cunnington has another 13 to add to his tally, while Zerha gets 11. Jai Simpkin continues to poll well with 10, alongside Todd Goldstein, who had 14 disposals, 30 hitouts and 2 goals to his name. McDonald, Mackay, Thomas and Hall all performed strongly on the day.
We obviously got touched up in round 3, I think it was, and very disappointed about that. And so we came out and stuck it to them, and we had a good fight. And credit to all the boys, but yeah, it's just still disappointing.
It's never easy travelling to Perth and taking on the Eagles, but North was up for the fight. Taron Thomas was on fire in front of goals.
And now Thomas got it back from Simpkin. He keeps it low into the breeze, into the square.
In the air.
And there's a good effort from Thomas.
And, well, breaking ankles.
Broke the ankles there.
West Coast threatened to break the game open, but the Roos kept coming.
Larkey has a quick look, and he's leveled the scores.
North fended off attack after attack and hit the front at the final change. 4 straight West Coast goals had Optus Stadium on its feet.
Saladou gives him a second chance. He fell, he kicked it straight, and it didn't stop.
But there was still a twist to come.
Allen engaging Sherry that time. Stevenson walked through good hands to Phillips. He didn't rush the kick. He's delivered it well. Lucky didn't, but Zerha can. He certainly can. Marnie tried to force the issue. Got it through. Davies Uniacke. The feet were dancing. He couldn't quite get through, but he got it out. Stevenson with his own moves. Cunnington, he gave it all he had. They have to touch it. Otherwise, North are in front.
Jaden Stevenson was brilliant, racking up 38 touches, 10 marks and a big goal.
And now he can raise his arms like all those Roos behind the goal.
And Big Goldie stood up in the big moment yet again.
Oh, but Goldstein! The Kangaroos go for gold. And Big Goldie puts it right through the middle. The sound of the siren will reverberate with the old Shinboners and the new Kangaroos. What a victory!
Stevenson with a massive 16 votes in one of the standout performances of 2021. But he wasn't alone. Zeeble and Simpkin get 14 each. LDU, Josh Walker and Zerha with 13 and Ben Cunnington with 12 in the game the coaches gave the most votes for all year.
We've come a long way in such a short period of time. Obviously, at the start of the year, we didn't start too well. In the last 4 weeks after the bye, we've just been awesome.
It was hard not to be up and about that Monday night after the win over the Eagles in the West. So we're 17 rounds in. I can tell you it's close at the top of the leaderboard. Let's have a look at how things are shaping up. And it's the two-time club champion, Ben Cunnington, out in front by 8 votes. As we know, he only plays one more game for the season. He's in the best against Carlton, so it'll be interesting whether he has a big enough lead. Interesting to note, through that stretch of games we just saw, he polled 8 Brownlow votes from 4 matches across that stretch. The skipper, Jack Zeeble, had a fantastic year in defence, as we know, and he sits in second place on 96 votes. The emerging Jai Simpkin 4 votes behind him. But of course, with 20 votes available per game, there's still a raft of players in the mix. 2015 winner Todd Goldstein is 4th on 77 votes. Ben Mackay back in 5th on 75, and we all know that Cam Zerha and Aaron Hall finished the year very, very strongly. And then rounding out the top 10 youngsters, Taron Thomas, Jaden Stevenson and Luke Davies-Uniacke. Let's bring in David King for his thoughts on things through 17 rounds. Kingy, for me, looking at that leaderboard and that stretch of footy we just saw there was perhaps the best and the most pulsating block of the season. But you got 3 of the top 4 established stars of the footy club, but then it's a mix of emerging talent and guys who really embraced their roles this year.
Yeah, it's spot on. When you're in a rebuild phase, you still need your leaders to be dominant in their roles. Ben Cunnington's done it for a decade. We know that. Goldstein the same. The captain, Jack Zeeble. It's no surprise they're at the top of the tree, but the names just below that are what really interests me. And when you see that win against the Eagles, everyone contributing, that's what David Noble been craving all year, to see that performance, to show these guys what they can get to. So I'm looking forward to the last few rounds of voting because this is very tight.
Well, you mentioned David Noble. What a year it has been for the first-year coach of the North Melbourne Football Club. Unfortunately, Nobes can't be with us tonight. He's back in Queensland at the moment, but he's been good enough to join us on the line. David, thanks so much for joining us. And first of all, how do you reflect on your first season in charge at Arden Street?
Yeah, good evening, Nige. With a lot of positivity, a lot of excitement. I think going into next year, we've certainly laid a really good foundation. I was thrilled with our ground that we made, certainly in the second half of the year.
The floor is yours to address everyone on what's been a really good season of growth.
Thanks, Nige. Congratulations to all the award winners so far, and good luck to the players in the last few rounds. Our first year completed, and it was one of firsts, some ups and some downs, and quite a few surprises. A new coach, a new game plan, a slow start, 11 debutants, fans being able to attend and then not attend. We had personal tragedies and traumas. We had growth in the second half. We had a stunning away win in Perth. We had a patch of consistency, a poor finish in our last game, continued battles with COVID, but lots of anticipation for 2022. Let's rewind back to the start. As we started pre-season training, our enthusiasm was high, ideas clear, as we set about rolling up our sleeves. We could see the building blocks were there, but we were a fair way off from meeting the standards that the coaches and the players needed to get to. No one was under any illusions. There was serious work ahead. Although the first half of the year may have looked disappointing, it gave us great opportunity to play our first, second and third year players in some key roles to gain valuable experience in what we call on-the-job training. To the players' credit, they embraced the consistency of our message. They appreciated the simplicity and the discipline of our game plan. And post the bye, we embarked on a rigorous education plan and program around roles.
we doubled down on our game plan. We asked the players to own it and to drive it, which they did. And things started to stick. The culmination of these improvements was our away game, as we've just seen against the West Coast Eagles, a challenge at the best of times. Being front at three-quarter time, we had momentum and controlled large portions of the game, but we knew the Eagles would come. The last quarter was full of belief, full of grit, as we wrestled the lead back from the Eagles to secure a momentous win for our footy club. That performance embodies our spirit as a club. It embodies our values as a club, and it embodies our trademark as a playing group. That is where we need to go, week in, week out. Before I finish, just some thank yous to our major sponsors, Mazda and Spirit of Tasmania, thank you. To Ben Buckley and the board for your support. To Ben Amafio and his exec and all the staff, thank you. To all our coterie groups. To our players, a thank you. There is still work to do, as you know. To the coaches, to Blakes, Heath, Geordie, to Brownie and Patch and Boomer and Pebs, your support of us as a group and a club, your work ethic and your contribution and your standards has been awesome. To Brady and the footy ops staff, thank you for your work. You quite often go above and beyond. To all the partners, particularly of our players and our staff, you play a significant role for us behind the scenes. So thank you. To our staff and players who are leaving us, a big thank you for your efforts. Garns, Dom, Will, Connor. And a shout out to Robbie, to Jess and to Sadie, and a thank you and a good luck. I think as the skipper said earlier, Taz, you will always be a Shinboner. A big thanks to Johnsy and to Codge as well for your many years of service. A big shout out to our fans and our members, a thank you. We've enormously missed your contribution of being able to get and see us and hear that roar when we hit the front. And we can't wait to have you back next year. And finally, to my family, who are the most supportive people I know. They're always beside me, helping me, encouraging me and loving me. I'll be forever thankful. To my beautiful wife, who's my ultimate soulmate, she's just a rock of our family and I love her so much. So where to now? We're already looking at our next steps. We've made some exciting off-field appointments with some more news to come in the coming weeks. But rest assured that the meticulous planning and the vision for what we want for our football club is at the forefront of our thinking on a daily basis. From where we started in laying the foundations this year of a new era, it has created opportunity for more growth, for more learning, for more fun and success. My message for 2022 is simple. Let's build. Build on 2021. Build our belief in each other. Build our game plan, our basics, our brand. Build with a thirst for success. Build with an intensity to improve. Build to be better than yesterday. I can't wait. Thanks, Nige.
No, thank you, Nobes. Well done on an outstanding first season, building the blocks, hopefully, for the club's 5th premiership. Here's to a bright future at North Melbourne. Good luck to you and your team for the upcoming trade and draft period as well. We're at the pointy end of the count of the 2021 Syd Barker Medal. Let's have a look at the highlights of the closing rounds of the season.
COVID forced teams on the road again, and the Roos headed to Brisbane before taking on Essendon on the Gold Coast. Cam Zerha took to the skies too, with the Roos run and gun game on song.
Taylor for Sherry, the door opens, it's wide open for Thomas. He can give to Simpkin to get him closer, and surely, yes, it will be a goal.
There was plenty of feeling in the game as a seesawing battle took place. The Bombers getting on top in the final quarter, but not before some outstanding work from Curtis Taylor.
Some danger there, Taylor Turned it into something beautiful. Well done, Curtis Taylor.
North with a much improved performance than when the teams last met, but ultimately falling short. Jai Simpkin was one of the stars for the Roos with 23 touches, 7 tackles and 7 clearances. Aaron Hall racking up 31 and 14 marks to go with 734 metres gained. Taron Thomas with 23 and a goal, and LDU with 21 and 6 clearances. Nick Larkey slotted 3 majors to continue his terrific form.
I think our young midfield group, Lazaro, Phillips, I still think Simpkins in that young group, even though he was the elder statesman out there today. Taron Thomas, we had Curtis Taylor that flipped in there for a little bit of times as well. So I think, their ability to battle with some hardened, warriors in Parish and Merritt, I thought was really encouraging.
So just to keep things interesting, we won't be showing the overall leaderboard from here on in. To round 18, and Jai Simpkin is the top vote getter with 10. LDU and Nick Larkey polling 9 apiece. Curtis Taylor and Taron Thomas with 8 each, while Aaron Hall and Kane Turner are also among the best. With Carlton right in the mix for a final spot, North was a firm outsider in round 19. But Nick Larkey had his own agenda. He kicked the Roos' first 2 goals, but the best was yet to come. We'll get to that a little later. Carlton threatened to steal a handy break until Thomas showed his class.
At the back is Taron Thomas, hurried snap, perfect reply for the Kangaroos within the space of 13 seconds.
Stevenson was turning it on with 2 first-half goals. Then a little bit of magic to start the third.
Stevenson's got an inordinate amount of space, steps around, bit of this, bit of that, high ball, needs to kick it. Stevenson for his third, and does.
Zerha with a bit of brilliance of his own.
He's on the tight angle, twisting, turning. Cam Zerha, yeah! He's put it through. Great play by the Kangaroos.
But the second half became the Nick Larkey show.
Thomas now, long and strong. Here goes Larkey. He's got it into the open goal. Here's your half a dozen. Here's a personal best, and that's the game.
Scott by hand. Larkey's got 6. Goes the snap. Larkey for 7.
The North big man booting 7 and Taron Thomas 4 as North saluted by 39 points.
Well done to the Kangaroos. They have their 4th win of the season. In the end, they nailed Carlton by 39 points.
Luke Davies-Uniacke with 28 touches, Jai Simpkin with 32, and Ben Cunnington with 27 and 10 clearances, all starring in a big win.
It was great. We had some great ball movement, and we've been building a long time for a game to open up like that, and the forwards reap the rewards. It was my turn to get on the end of a heat today, but we had a heap of goal kickers as well, which was really good, and it's off the back of a lot of the midfield's work, the defenders' work.
A look at the round 19 votes, and Nick Larkey leads the way with 16. LDU, Jai Simpkin and Taron Thomas are all flying on the run home, while Ben Cunnington grabs another 13 votes in his final game of 2021. The ever-consistent Aaron Hall and Jack Siebel also among the top votes. Back at Bloodstone Arena in round 20, the Roos were keen to take it to one of the league's strongest teams. Luke Davies-Uniacke continued his hot run of form before a moment to remember for R2 Bosena Valagi.
Campbell smothered. Bosena Valagi takes off. R2 has the shot from 45. Awesome! Just what the Kangaroos needed.
Jed Anderson was hitting as hard as ever, while the skipper was just as damaging. But the highlight of the day came from Eddie Ford on the ground for the first time in North colours.
From the chaos, can they steal one here? Ford picks it up, screws it around the body and bounces it home and finally gets his first goal in AFL footy.
North ultimately falling 20 points short, but again taking it right up to a premiership contender. Luke Davies-Uniacke again among North's best with 23 possessions and 6 clearances, while Aaron Hall racked up 36 touches. Kane Turner and Ben Mackay, who did an outstanding job on Tom Hawkins, again among the best.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I obviously had a bit of prep with the emergency sub, so I knew I was doing this time. So it was really good fun.
So a look at the votes, and what a season Ben Mackay had. Another 13 votes, with Aaron Hall next best on 12. Luke Davies-Uniacke with 11 votes, while Jai Simpkin gets 8. Josh Walker with another super consistent year with 8, while Jack Siebel is right up there again with 5 votes. North looked on its way to a memorable victory against the reigning premiers with a dominant first half in round 21. Cam Zurhaar was on song early and finished with 4 goals for the day, while Jai Simpkin had plenty of tricks on his way to 34 touches. Hall and Siebel were doing the job in defence, but the Tigers dominated the second half on their way to a 33-point win. Scoreboard aside, Luke Davies-Uniacke was brilliant with a career-high 38 touches. Likewise, Aaron Hall, who grabbed 38 himself. Ben Mackay claimed another huge scalp, this time Tom Lynch, while Simpkin wrapped up 34 touches and 5 clearances.
Look, he's really developed his craft. You know, his ability to now secure a bit more of the ball. I think the element that I've been really pleased with, I think it's his general play. You know, the componentry of offence and defence away from stoppage. You know, mids get an extra bunch of chances around the ground to set up and get more possession in stoppages. But I've really loved watching his growth in his transition.
To the round 21 votes, and it's that man, Luke Davies-Uniacke, at the top again. We know Ben Mackay led the count a little earlier, and he grabs another 13 votes. Aaron Hall and Cam Zurhaar with 12 apiece, while Simpkin, Siebel and Turner are among the votes once again. It had been a long time coming for Charlie Comben, and that made his first game all the more special.
Anderson realises he can go, sends it long. Larky in a good spot. Couldn't get the second grab, knocked it to Zurhaar, and he towed it.
Cam Zurhaar hit the scoreboard early, but the Swans held a 38-point lead late in the first half. Enter Zurhaar again to lift his team. And then Eddie Ford, not once.
So a little bit of an angle.
But twice.
And he pulls the margin back to 10.
The Roos leaving their run just a bit too late, but not before Charlie Comben hit the scoreboard for the first time. Aaron Hall was again the leading disposal winner with 30. Cam Zurhaar booted 3 goals, while LDU and Simpkin grabbed 24 and 22 disposals respectively.
It's massive for me. For starters, I put a lot of work in behind the scenes to get back. It's been a really frustrating 18 months or so for me. To finally get out there and play with the boys, it's just could not be happier, mate. It's a massive reward for effort, so I'm so stoked.
To the penultimate round of votes, and Aaron Hall leads the way with 9. Jai Simpkin, Eddie Ford and Cam Zurhaar get 8 apiece, with McDonald, Davies-Uniacke and Turner grabbing 5.
You're going to make a lot of people proud tonight, buddy, so use your legs, go get them.
Phoenix Spicer became North's 11th debutant of 2021 as he lined up against the Crows in round 23. It was a tough day at the office for the travelling team, with Taryn Thomas providing a rare highlight.
Oh, Taryn Thomas this time! And what about the marks being taken at Adelaide Oval?
Thomas finished with 26 disposals and a goal as the standout for North, while Larky stood tall with 3 majors. Jai Simpkin and Aaron Hall were the leading ball winners, while Spicer showed plenty of promise on debut.
I cannot question the trust that the club's put in me. The support that our members have shown myself and the coaching group is just been unbelievable. And I've mentioned a few times, to have record membership is just such a great sign of our members understanding what we've done. I've really enjoyed the challenge to teach and coach again, and to see the growth of that young group, the Taryn Thomases and the Curtis Taylors, Jack Barneys, that group. Then you've got the next group above, I think Jai and LDU. And then you've got your debutants that have come through. So I've really enjoyed the experience. I still, get up a lot of mornings and just think,
the club that they've picked me to sort of lead them. So I'm very humble in being able to do that for the footy club, and we're going to strive to continue to improve and get better.
So to the votes for round 23, and it's Taryn Thomas who gets the top nod, finishing a fantastic season with another 6 votes. Nick Larkey with 4, while Simpkin, Turner and Hall round out the votes in the final game of 2021.
Thanks to Kath Lockman from Fox Footy, who provided the voiceovers for the highlights through the 22 rounds of season 2021. Now, before we talk through and reveal our top 3 place getters in this year's Syd Barker Medal, I'd like to welcome in the defending champ, the 2020 Syd Barker medalist, Luke McDonald. And I think we have to break the news to you, mate. You're not going back to back.
Yeah, well, when I got the invite, I thought I must have been a chance, but no, obviously some guys had some unbelievable years. Obviously not a fantastic year for the club, but some awesome growth from a few of the young guys and a few of the old boys as well.
Well, tell us about some of the young guys. Tell us specifically who you think's taken huge strides in the last, particularly 10 to 12 games.
It's funny, I've been asked that question a fair bit, and it's really, really hard to narrow down because there are so many guys that have improved just an unbelievable amount. I mean, you look at Luke Davies-Uniacke, especially his game against Richmond, just seeing him just dominate. Taryn Thomas, unbelievable year, and even Jaizo, you'd still think that he's probably still a young bloke as well, and he had a fantastic year. Cam Zurhaar, awesome year, especially in the back half. Really got his confidence and got that swagger back that we love. We all grow a leg when we're playing with Cam. Yeah, and obviously all the first year boys as well. We had a lot of debutants from then. Tommy Powers' first half of the year is probably as good as I've seen from a first year player, especially considering we were battling. And then Eddie Ford as well with that. Talk of swagger, he's got a fair bit of that with the earrings, and he's got the funny little bit of fluff on his chin as well. But there's a lot of guys I could go through.
Luke, Jack Ziebell spoke before in his captain's speech about watching the finals on with a sense of envy. How was that for you?
Oh, it's always tough. It's really tough watching the finals just because you're so jealous. You just want to be there, and I was so lucky in my first couple of years to play in big finals at the MCG in front of big crowds, and that's why we play. We play to win premierships, and you see all those Melbourne boys. Just that that king, you'd know what it's all about. But that 20 minutes after the game when you're just hugging each other, you're pretty much kissing each other like. That's that feeling. Like even we had those little wins this year, like that 20 minutes after the game together, after all the hard work you put in, that's what it's about. And that's been one of Nobes' focus from day one. We're here to play finals. We're here to play a finals brand, and I'm really excited for next year.
What did winning it for you last year do for this year internally? I mean, obviously it's great for the financial reward. I know it's big for you, but aside from that, Luke, what did it do in terms of your status at the footy club?
Oh, just the belief. It's obviously to be an AFL player, you've got to have a lot of internal belief. But to win the Syd Barker, I mean, I was been a North Melbourne supporter my whole life. I've seen guys like Anthony Stevens, Brent Harvey, Brady Rawlings, Ben Cunnington, Robbie Tarrance. You see all these guys that you just look up to so much winning them, and then to have your name alongside them, no one can ever take that away from you. And especially. Yeah, given the family connection with Dad playing there, I don't think he ever came top 10. But it was just such a proud day, and ultimately I want to win a premiership. That's why we're all here for this great club. But I'm certainly really proud of winning that, and whoever wins it tonight, I'm sure it's going to be a massive moment for them, and they're going to thoroughly deserve it.
Hello to Donald, who's watching and probably just spat out his colonial tuning into the broadcast. Done an outstanding job on and off field for the footy club. Luke, stick around. You've got the gold, silver and bronze ready to hand out our top 3 Syd Barker medalists for the year. So we'll get to you in just a moment. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it brings to an end this year's Syd Barker medal count. Time to reveal our top 3. We will begin with third place, and it gives me great pleasure to reveal that this award comes through on a countback. We spoke about the countback at the beginning of the night, and it's been instituted to separate our third place getter. He averaged 25 disposals and 7 marks a game, as well as 6 rebound 50s. He polled votes in all but 1 game this year, and an amazing sign of his outstanding consistency. A man who stood tall in every position he's played across 13 seasons. So please join me in congratulating third place in this year's Syd Barker Medal, our captain on 114 votes, Jack Ziebell. Thanks, mate.
Good man.
Jack, congratulations. Fantastic speech, I think, to set the tone of the night for everyone and perhaps put a full stop on season 2021, which was a year of growth. But for you personally, a fantastic season. Where does it rank in your time as a Roo?
Yeah, it's definitely up there, no doubt about that. This year was probably one of the most enjoyable years I've experienced at the club, and probably for different reasons. We've been fortunate enough over a few years to play some deep September finals campaigns, but this year was probably a bit different for a few of the older boys, and the role we played in helping progress our younger players and try and accelerate their growth as quick as we can to make sure that our team can build a lot quicker and become a force again in September, which Lukey spoke about before. So it was really enjoyable, and congratulations to the winners as well. I won't ruin anything, you can do that. But the boys had an outstanding year, and a lot of the guys across the whole board did.
Tell us about adjusting to the new role. David Noble says to you during the pre-season period, we want to play you at half-back or back pocket, whatever you want to call it. How did you get used to that position? How long did it take you? You've had a fantastic season.
Yeah, no, it was a call. Nobes sort of floated the idea before Christmas to me to think about going down back and trialling a new role. And to be honest, I thought, why wouldn't I want to do that to help the team? If that's the best position for me to help the team, then I'm all for it. And we're very fortunate to have a couple of really experienced defenders down there to help. And Luke, who's one of those boys throughout the pre-season to help me with my positioning and some craft stuff. As defenders, I hadn't done much of that before. As a midfielder and a forward, you don't defend too much occasionally. So learning that craft was really good fun. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's going to be something that's going to help me extend my career a little bit as well. Well,
you've embraced the role tremendously well. Well deserving of third place. I'm sure there's some people you'd like to thank, so look down the barrel and do so.
Absolutely. It's a great honour to come third in our great award, Syd Barker Medal, and congratulations to the winner and the runner-up for tonight's award. But I'd just like to thank a couple of big shout-outs to Dave Noble, obviously the coach. You fully backed me this year, which was very much appreciative, and you backed all the boys as well. And John Blakey, defensive coach, put a bit of time in to learn the new role with myself. And as I spoke before, Robbie Tarrant helped me a lot with my defensive positioning and craft stuff, along with Lukey and a few other boys. So my teammates as well. We couldn't win or accept individual awards without your teammates. And just my family. It's been a tough year with COVID, not being able to see everyone as much as we would have liked. But you guys are a great support for me back home in Wodonga, and I can't wait to get back there and see you guys. And last but not least is my fiancée, Shan. Your support has been huge this year, and you create great balance in my life. And our beautiful daughter, Pip, I thank you very much for all you've done for me. It's been fantastic. So that'll be just about it for me.
Jack, congratulations on third place in this year's Syd Barker Medal. Exciting, I think, for everyone across the board, tied to the footy club, that you're getting better at this stage of your career.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
So Jack Siebel in third place. Now to our runner-up in the 2021 Syd Barker Medal. He averaged career highs in disposals at 27 per game and also clearances, leading the team with 8 per match. He's a guy who's severely underrated, it seems, outside the four walls of Arden Street. And as we know, he's held in amazing regard as a North Melbourne player. He played just the 15 matches this season, but led North in both the coaches' votes, and he polled a club-high 15 Brownlow votes as well. With 117 votes this season and in second place for the fourth time since 2015 to go alongside his 2 previous wins in the Syd Barker Medal. Please congratulate our runner-up this year, Ben Cunnington. We don't quite have the augmented reality set up here for Luke to be able to loop it over Ben's head on Zoom. But Cunners, congratulations. Hopefully you can hear us and the Wi-Fi at both ends is working okay. Tell us about how you reflected on your season.
Yeah, no, thank you. Firstly, it was actually refreshing to get back out there and play. After 2020, I had a fair stint on the sideline, so I was going to be back, especially with the refreshment of coaches and some of the young guys come through, kept me on my toes, and I enjoyed my footy this year. So it was nice to start making some movements in that second half.
Challenging year, Ben, in a lot of different ways. That a lot of challenges have been thrown at you that you haven't had before, and you've stepped through it beautifully. This one might be a really special award to just show your consistency throughout the year, to be the prime leader in that midfield with some new names around you, some younger players around you, different challenges personally. How have you found it? Is this a special one?
Yeah, it actually is. For some reason, I'm getting it a bit emotional, even though I didn't even win it. But I'm not good at this stuff.
You're doing a good job, mate.
Yeah, and I just have the support from the club, the players, and my beautiful family. Yeah, I couldn't have done it without them.
No, it has been a challenging year. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Luke, tell us about him. Tell us about Ben, because he doesn't often let us in like he probably is now for the first time in a long time. Tell us about what it's like playing with Ben Cunnington.
Yeah, well, I think he's got us all there. He's just... I don't think I'm wrong in saying he's one of the all-time greats of North Melbourne's history. You know, he's come fourth in the second in the BNF 4 times, won 2. But you know, Ben Cunnington the player and Ben Cunnington the person, I honestly couldn't speak any higher of him. Obviously, he's a bit quiet in the media and that, but his influence on the club, you know, we talk about how much all the young guys have improved. That's a lot of the stuff because of Cunner's behind the scenes. He puts in hours with them. So, and then, yeah, I mean, he's just a role model for all the boys, you know, how close he is with his family. Like, yeah, he's just an epitome of a Shinboner. And, yeah, I don't really have the words, mate. He's just an absolute superstar player, person, and dad as well, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you've done a super job of putting that into words. Ben, just tell us, what does it mean to have the support of the footy club, and not just the playing group, but also the fans who've reached out over the last couple of months?
Yeah, mate, it's more than I even expected. I didn't think I was... you think you're a bit more alone, but the support, everyone from the top at the club to the fans stuck at home, it's been huge, and it actually helps me smile and makes me want to continue playing for this great club. So it means more than I ever thought.
This is a great speech, Ben. I know it's an awkward one for you, and it's hit you pretty hard. But what you've done for this football club, I think, is often understated and undersold. But you see opportunity now to go on and become a great football team. This young side emerging around you gives you that opportunity to become a premiership star for the Kangas. How much does that drive you?
Yeah, it does. Firstly, I'm just a bit embarrassed because I don't want to take the attention away from the winner. But it does, and I love working with the young guys, and it drives me every day. I try and think and help them in any way I can, and to see them get the recognition, and hopefully another young fella's got that tonight. It means a lot to hopefully contribute to them in any way to get us back to where we belong. Ben,
we'll change gears before we let you go. Lockdown's made things pretty hard. Have you had a chance to get out and wet a line in the off-season?
I'm fortunate enough we've got our own farm, so we've got a couple hundred acres here, and it's been keeping us pretty busy. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your insights. Well done on another magnificent season. You are a special person in the history of the North Melbourne Football Club, and what you've done on and off the field epitomises everything that's great about North Melbourne. Well done on second place in this year's Syd Barker Medal.
No, thank you very much.
Before we get to our winner, Kingy, he is a modern great.
He is, and I don't even think he understands what he means to this football club and this group. He's probably should be one that's thrown straight into the team of the century and those sorts of things. His consistency is unparalleled across the competition, really. And another one, perhaps in a similar vein to how we just spoke about, Jack Ziebell, who is getting better with age. Yeah, I'm not sure Ben can go to the half-back flank, though. I think there's only room down there for one of them. Let's just keep it quiet. Happy having him around the coalface for many years to come. Well done, Ben Cunnington, second in this year's Syd Barker Medal. So now we've come to the big announcement of the night, the most revered trophy at North Melbourne, been handed out since 1929. Our winner in 2021 averaged career highs in disposals, tackles, rebound and inside 50s, clearances and contested possessions. He's a player who's got a big part of the future at this club. Gives me great pleasure to announce that the 2021 Syd Barker medalist for the first time is Jai Simpkin.
He hands it off to Simpkin. He's got room to move. He can blast it long, go goal square. All the way home. Then again, the clearance specialist, Simpkin, with a dance step, hands it to Phillips. To Simpkin, a bounce. Time to assess the options. Flicks it up.
Holstein took full advantage of the wonky bounce. Thomas is moving and he always knew.
Simpkin mesmerised them. Had a bounce.
Davies, Uniac, Simpkin. So the best ball winners in the middle. We're on the job. Look at Simpkin skirt through. Somehow winding and finishing it off.
Thomas, Simpkin, got his way around Parker. High drive pair coming into his own. He's been one of the cornerstones of the midfield, beyond his years at the moment. Looks out in front, nicely delivered. Jai Simpkin looks up, and he's got a one-on-one he likes as well.
Thanks, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
So Jai Simpkin, the 2021 Syd Barker medalist, just gather your thoughts. What do you put that in, not just your football terms, but from a life point of view?
Yeah, it's I'm pretty speechless, to be honest. Lucky Cunners isn't here with me, we'll probably be crying together. But yeah, no, it's something you dream about as a kid. You know, growing up playing AFL football, it's every kid's dream. And you know, when you're younger, you see these guys accepting awards, and one day you want to be like them. And I don't know, today becomes a reality a little bit. So yeah, I'm pretty speechless.
You've been building to this. You were second last year. What was the focus in the off-season to take another spike in your improvement?
Yeah, I think consistency was a big one for myself. I knew if I had a good pre-season and stayed injury-free, and then obviously all the new coaches, Nobes, Geordie Russell, they can't go underestimated with how much they've pushed me to develop my game with a lot of more outside football and yeah, just evolve my game internally. So yeah, sorry, I'm just a bit flustered.
Joe, what's enabled you to take your game to the next level? I mean, clearly you've had a big couple of years. You're still yet to play 100 games of footy, so you're still learning how good you can be in a lot of ways. But what have the coaches said specifically? What's David Noble driven hard for you to become?
Yeah, I think over the last couple of years, I've shown that I can get footy on the inside and contested footy, but I've always struggled to sort of get it on the outside and get a bit of easier footy and, yeah, as I said, get on the outside. So Nobes really pushed me, played me on the wing at stages this year to try and balance that out to, you know, get that outside run, get back in the defence, get forward and really sort of get damaging more in the forward half. So going into next year, even our exit meetings, I think that's one massive thing for me. I need to get more damaging forward half. So really work on my skills and hopefully if I can keep the consistency up, it'll take my game again to another level.
I was just going to touch on that, your consistency, week in, week out, your numbers are pretty much the same. We were talking before, Luke and I, about your improvement to be able to hold that bar across the course of the year. How have you done that? How do you do it?
It's just training standards for myself. You get in what you put out, so it's pretty simple for me. If I know I train hard during the week, and just do the consistent things that I know I do, the rewards come.
Jai, from a team point of view, you had a career best game in the round 9 win against the Hawks, but how important was that from a breakthrough that after 8 weeks of toiling, adhering to this new game plan, the boys finally got some reward?
Yeah, it was massive. Obviously, the boys have worked so hard over the pre-season. It's never easy getting a new coach in, or all new coaches, sorry. Learning a new game plan. So getting that reward at the end of the day, flying down to Tassie in such a close win, it was awesome. It sort of released the shackles a little bit, I think. As we've seen in the second half of the year, it was a bit more free-flowing football, which we tried to do from the start. But from getting that win, I think it took a lot of pressure off a lot of boys and just allowed them to play a bit more freely.
All going well, you'll tick off 100 games for the club early next season. You've played 55 in a row. How much has that continuity to be on the park every single week, but also log plenty of training during the week, helped you as a player?
Yeah, a lot. I think, it's my biggest thing. I know if I keep my training standards and my training loads high enough that I know I'm getting it in during the week, and sorry, I'm still flustered. But yeah, I know if I just keep my training standards high, it's going to allow me to play good football and stay out in the park.
It may take a while to sink in, but your name does go next to the names that Luke said before. You got Cunnington, Stevens, Harvey, Carey, Swass, these guys. It will take a while to sink in, but this is I think, testament to the work that you've done, and you've gone outside yourself to become the leader of the football club. How important is leadership to you, given where the club's at right now?
Yeah, massive. As a young guy coming through, to try and steer the ship and steer North back to September footy, along with Lukey and Zeebs and the other boys, it's massive for me. I don't want to spend my career playing down the bottom of the ladder, so I'm going to do everything in my power to bring this team up and bring all the boys with me. So, yeah, that's my goal.
Jai, it's a special moment for you, but also the people who've supported you as well. You're now part of history at the football club as a Syd Barker medalist. Straight down the barrel of the camera for some thank yous.
Sorry if I miss anyone. But first of all, I'd just like to thank my teammates, and congratulations to Zeebs and Cunners as well. Like I said earlier, thank God you're not here, Cunners, because I'd be shedding a tear with you. But first of all, to the rest of the playing group, you can't do these things on your own, obviously, and especially that midfield core that I'm with. I look around the centre bounce, and I've got Todd Goldstein, Jed Anderson, Ben Cunnington, LDU's coming through, Taron Thomas, these guys. You make my job a lot easier, which is, thank you. To Geordie Russell, coming in as a new assistant coach. I knew early days we sort of butted heads a little bit with what he thought was right, what I thought was right, but both going back and forth, we've got a really strong relationship and a good bond, which is really exciting for the rest of us. So going forward, I'm really, really excited to keep working with you going forward. Same goes all the rest of the assistant coaches. Thank you for such a great year. We didn't have as many wins as we would have liked, but I'm really bullish about our future and what we can do going forward. To Nobes, I can't really put in play how much sort of drive you've had, not only on myself but the group. Your stability through those, like we said, our first half of the season wasn't great, and we weren't even looking like a win for a fair while, but your stability to just stick to yourself, stick to your plan, can't go unnoticed. I think in the past, a lot of times when you do go on a bit of a losing streak, the game plan and stuff sort of starts to change, but you were just rock solid, mate. You didn't budge at all, and thank you. You really challenged me about my outside game. I know we had a few conversations about playing wing, and I wasn't really sure about why you were playing me on the wing, but it's worked in the second half of the year. I think it really improved my footy, and going forward, like the rest of the coaching group, I can't wait to go forward with yourself and the rest of the group. To all my family and friends back home, I can't thank you guys enough. All my aunties, uncles, cousins, everyone. I don't know how many people get messages before a game from all their uncles and aunties, but you just never fail week in, week out. Sometimes I think, here we go again. The same old messages, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you very much for all your support. To my girlfriend, Alicia, thank you. I know at times I'm probably tough to deal with, especially when we're losing and I'm not playing great, and I can be pretty hard to deal with at times, but thank you very much for all your support and sticking with me. I'm sorry if I've missed anyone else, but I'll get around to it in our own time. So thank you very much.
That's Cheers. What social media is for, Jai. You can catch up on the other thank yous afterwards. Well done, well said. I can't imagine the emotions that are coursing through your body right now. It's an exhilarating feeling to join such an amazing list of club greats. You're a very well-deserving Syd Barker
Can I
medalist.
just say one more thing? Is that all right?
Absolutely.
And just thank you to all our members and fans. I know it hasn't been easy at times, but stick with us. As we've seen, we've got a really exciting group, and no doubt we'll get the #1 pick this year, and that'll be really exciting for us. So stick around. The future's really bright, and I can't wait to have you back at games next year. So thank you very much, and enjoy the break.
Well done, Jai. We'll welcome in, or bring back in Jack Zeeble, Luke McDonald's here, and we'll hopefully get Ben Cunnington back on the screen to propose a toast to all our award winners tonight, but in particular our 2021 Syd Barker medalist, Jai Simpkin.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Well done, brother.
So with that, let's have a look at the leaderboard as it stands at the conclusion of the 2021 Syd Barker Medal. As you can see there, Jai Simpkin finished the season brilliantly, eventually winning by a clear margin, 26 votes after polling 51 votes across the final 5 rounds of the season. What a year from Aaron Hall. Tied on 114 votes with Jack Siebel there and unfortunately missing out on third place due to the countback system in place. Aaron Hall averaged 28 possessions, 7 rebound 50s and amassed over 12,000 metres gained across the year. He certainly found his home at halfback. He was 8th in the competition for metres gained per game. So wonderful season from Aaron, and great to see him also commit to the club for next year. Also in 5th place, a player who took his game to another level this year, Luke Davies-Uniacke. And how about his finish to the year, flying home in the count? He sat 11th with 6 rounds remaining. He out-polled the winner, Jai Simpkin, with 53 votes in his final 5 matches of the campaign. Ben Mackay caps off an ultra-consistent year, deep in defence, finishing 6th. And then Taron Thomas, Cam Zurhaar, Kane Turner and Nick Larkey round out the top 10. So plenty of emerging talent, of course. Zurhaar and Larkey with 73 goals between them for the course of the season. Kingy, as we wrap things up on what's been a fantastic night, it is hard not to be buoyant about the future of North Melbourne after what we've covered across the last couple of hours.
Been a great night. We had Tears, the F-bomb, and that was just from you.
No, it was far out.
Oh, was it? Okay. No, look, it's been a fantastic night, and I think you can see by the leaderboard there, 6 through to 12, they're coming, and they're coming hard. So look out 2022.
Exciting times. Thanks for all your insights tonight, everything you've done for the club, particularly behind the scenes across the course of the year, and everyone can tune in to Fox Footy over the next couple of weeks for all your insights throughout the NAB AFL trade period. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up formalities. Hopefully we're back in one place together in season 2022. My name's Nigel Carmody. A pleasure to be your host for the 2021 Syd Barker medalist. Well done to Jai Simpkin and all the team. Bring on season 2022 for the Roos.
Opens up the angle and kicks the first of his career. Can they steal one here? Ford picks it up, screws it around the body and bounces it home and finally gets his first goal in AFL footy. To the hot spot. Marnie with the Marnie kick.
What a retreat. Taylor going short. Was at the 15, not before Phillips. Still got time to steady though. Composure from the young man. There, Taylor turned it into something beautiful. Well done, Curtis Taylor.
Well done by Mackay. They're going to go through the corridor here to Kangaroos. Phillips has power. They've got runners everywhere. Stevenson in a bit of space. Just got to think his way through it. Has Scott running towards goal. Will it